So this one says, Lisa spends part of her year as a member of a gym. She then finds a better deal at another gym, so she cancels her membership with the first gym and spends the rest of the year with the second gym. All right, so that's a lot of information there, right? So basically they're telling us that she's going to these two different gyms, right? So those are going to be our variables, right? Usually there's two different variables here. Those are going to be our variables. Okay, so I'm going to label those as X for my first gym. That's the first gym I went to. And Y is going to be my second gym. That's the second gym that I went to. Okay. And then it says the membership to the first gym was $75 per month, and the membership to the second gym was $50 per month. So that's kind of your clue that those are going to be your variables, right? Because they have different rates. See how the first gym is 75, second gym is 50. And then she ends up spending a total of $775 over the course of the year. So for this problem, the value equation, right, the money equation, is fairly straightforward because it's 75 for the first gym, so that's 75x plus 50 for the second gym, and that equals the grand total of 775. But what's not super obvious in this problem, what makes it super tricky, is that we need to know the amount of time that she was at these gyms, right? Well, she went to these gyms for a year, and notice they're talking about months here, right? So we don't know how many months she went to the first gym, and we don't know how many months she went to the second gym, but we know that she went for a full year, which would be 12 months. And so that one is not super obvious. So that takes a little bit of thinking there. And then we got to go ahead and solve here. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the 50, the positive 50 here. So I'm going to multiply everything by negative 50. You could, of course, eliminate 75 if you choose to do that. Either way. So I'm going to get negative 50x minus 50y equals negative, 600. And then we can go ahead and cancel these things out. Negative 50y, positive 50y, those go away. I get 25x equals 775 minus 600 gives me 175. Divide both sides by 25, and I get x equals 7. And remember, this was for a full year, so then I know that 7 months was at the first gym. That means the rest of the year, so that's 5 months, is at the second gym. All right, moving to example 5 here. It says the sum of two numbers is 28. So I've got that set up already. Okay, so x plus y is 28. The sum of 6 times the first number, so I have 6x, and 3 times the second number, 3y, is 105. So we've talked about this before, right? We have the sum. Okay, so that's why I have addition here. We have is. That's why I have equals here. Okay, and I've got my system all set up. And now I can go ahead and solve this. I'm going to eliminate the 3 here, the 3y. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by negative 3. And I get negative 3x minus 3y equals, this gives me negative 84. And now I can go ahead and cross things out. We've got the y's canceling out. I get 3x equals, that's going to give me 21. Divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 7. All right, x equals 7. Remember, the grand total here was 28, so that means y has got to be 21. Remember, like usual, you can slow these videos down, right? Pause them, try them yourself if you feel like it, and then check the answers as you go, right? Whatever works for you. All right, moving on to the next set of problems here, and these are going to be inequalities, so it's a little bit different, right? So the setup is going to be similar, but we're going to add one piece here. It says Angelique is buying towels for her apartment. She finds some green towels that are $8, so we have green that are 8, so that's 8G, and blue towels that are 10, so that's blue that are 10, so 10B. And now she wants to buy at least 4 towels, but does not want to spend more than $70. Okay, so some pieces that are happening here. First, we have the money equation, right? The value there. Then we have the amount equation down below. Okay, for the value equation, she wants to spend no more than, doesn't want to spend more than $70. So instead of equaling $70, we're going to put less than or equal to, because she doesn't want to spend more than that. Okay, but it says she wants to buy at least 4 towels. So G plus B has got to be greater than or equal to 4. So they're just adding these inequalities there because of the way that they're wording these problems. And then from here, I'm going to graph these. Okay, and so I'm going to use the method of finding the intercepts here. So we've got the green towels down here as my X, and the blue towels down here up here as my Y. So remember, we kind of did this before. We can find the intercepts of these by plugging in 0 for the opposite variable. So if, for example, if I want to find the intercept in the second equation right here for the blue towels, I basically just get rid of this, right? Plug in 0 for G, and then I see B equals, we're going to say equals, even though it's an inequality there, B equals 4. So then I would go ahead and put my point for the blue towels at 4. Okay. All right, and then we're going to do that again, right? So if I block out over here, okay, then same thing, the variable there would be G equals 4. Okay, so the intercepts for both of those are going to be 4. So I'm going to go to 4 and 4, and then I'm going to use a solid line there. Okay, and then for this one it says greater than or equal, so I'm going to keep in mind that I will be shading above this line, right? Everything above this line, but I'm not going to do it quite yet, and I'll show you why in a sec. Next, I'm going to find the intercepts for these pieces here. So those equations would look like this: 8G equals 70, and 10B equals 70. And then divide both sides by 8 for this one, and that's going to give me, let's see, G equals 8.75. So then onto the green towels, we're going to go to 8.75, which is right there. And then on the second equation, B equals 7. So I'm going to go up to 7, and I've got that one there. Okay, we got a solid line because of the or equal to bar. And then this one, notice it says is less than or equal to 70. So for this line, we're going to be shading down. So remember, we had the orange shading up, we have the pink shading down, and so we can see where this shading is going to intersect. It's going to be everything that's in between here. So any point in between those lines would satisfy these requirements, right? So they would satisfy that it's less than or equal to $70 and it's greater than or equal to 4 towels. So any point in there would work. Okay. Moving on to the next one, it says the sum of two numbers is as at least 8. So notice they've labeled it as first number and second number, so that's what I did. So I've got F plus S is at least 8. So my symbol here is going to be greater than or equal to because it says at least. And the sum of one of the numbers and 3 times the second number is no more than 15. So that's less than or equal to. And then once again, I've got my setup here. And so from the first equation up top, okay, my intercepts are going to be at 8 and 8. 8 and 8. And again, we have a solid line because we have that or equal to bar. And again, because it's greater than or equal to, we want to shade everything above the line. And then for the second one, we can set this up because it takes a little bit more work. My equations are going to look like this: F equals 15 and 3S equals 15. And so the first one is simple, right? This intercept is going to be at 15 for the first number. So we're right here. And second number, let's see, divide both sides by 3. That's going to give me 5. Okay, and we're going to jump up to, or jump down to 5, I should say, right there. Draw our line. Again, solid line because we have the or equal to bars there. Okay, so now we got to do some thinking here, right? Gather ourselves and figure out where the shading is going to intersect. So this shading was above, right? And then for the second line, it was below. So if we're thinking about where is this shading going to intersect, right? It's just going to be this tiny little triangle right here, right, where my shading intersects. So any point in that area would be part of the solution set. All right, I'm going to leave the last one to you for you to try on your own, and we can talk about it in class if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching.